Hi, it's Raymond. I hope I have the right number. Look, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but I need your help. Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story, that if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. Yeah, I was wrong.
Hey guys, so interesting thing about the Shadowrun Hong Kongs, there's more content. It's bonus campaign. Set in the weeks following the events of the main campaign, Shadows of Hong Kong will give you and your team the opportunity to turn the tables on the corporate police force that once hunted you. Through layers of corporate greed and urban strife, you will contend with dangerous enemies, uncover a deadly conspiracy, and cement your reputation as a prime runner, assuming that you survive, of course. So that means I get to be prime? That's freaking cool. I will select this save. Something's wrong. The last thing you remember, it was the night of the Kowloon City riots. You and your team were running an errand for Kylie Cheng, recovering an object before the inevitable police response turned the city upside down. Everything was going well. You left with the item in hand, and then nothing. The world went black. You had the item in hand. Yeah, okay. A sudden explosion of pain behind your eyes jolts you back to the present. A nightmare succession of dream images flicker through your consciousness like a strobe light. A man with a pockmarked face, slim fingers playing over the surface of your brain, leaving a slug's trail of agony in their wake. A second figure whose face you couldn't see, digging with relish through the scraps of memory that your tormentor left behind. It was a rough night, and now, as your eyes snap open and adjust to the light, you find yourself in a reality that is a little more comfort. Alright, so this should be interesting. And we will continue. Come on, you. A single bulb hangs from the corrugated steel roof. The dim light that is cast is barely enough to illuminate the table in front of you. Your head throbs in time with your heartbeat, and each pulse gives rise to a low, grinding, stomach-churning discomfort. Heavy weights on your wrists tell you you've been handcuffed. Try to clear your head. You squeeze your eyes shut and count to 10. The pain in your head slowly dissipates, and your vision gradually swims back into focus. There's a rag on your lap, an old dishcloth matted with congealed blood. The dull ache that radiates from the bridge of your nose up to your sinuses tell you where it came from. I'm going to examine my surroundings. The room is dark, far too dark to make out its dimensions. All that you see with any clarity is your own lap and the table in front of you. Try to focus. Squinting, you try to focus on the hazy objects in the distance. A searing jolt of pain is your reward. With the pain comes a dream image branded into your memory with crystal clarity. The first of your tormentors, the man with the pockmarked face. For a few torturous seconds, the image swims through your head, wiggling like an eel. Then, as sudden as it came, the pain dissipates, fading away until it's swallowed by the relentless ache that throbs behind your temples. In the distance, you hear the pop hiss of a pneumatic door unlatching and sliding open. An enormous figure steps into the room, and the door slides shut behind him. You can just barely make out the silhouette of the troll standing across the table from you. Your senses work to fill the blanks. He's got a heavy build. The floor creaks every time he shifts his weight. The rustle of fabric over hard, sharp keratin tells you he has prominent dermal deposits. He's also wearing way too much cologne. From the chest up, the darkness swallows him. You can't see his face. I'm just going to say nothing. The room remains silent as he busies himself arranging objects on the table in front of him. A notepad, a mug of soy calf, an old ballpoint pen, an audio recorder. Finally, he looks up from the objects and focuses on you.
Good morning, Mr. Hawkins.
The words roll in his throat like rocks in a tumbler.
How are you feeling today? Did you sleep well?
Aside from the fact that I spent the night bleeding into a dirty towel, I'm fine.
Oh, poor baby. And I thought that you Shadowrunners were supposed to be tough. If it's any consolation, the nosebleed was expected. It's a common side effect of magical interrogation.
You had your people poke around in my head, didn't you? They did something to me while I was unconscious.
Yeah, that's right. Our mage probed your mind while you slept.
He lifts his mug out of the light and towards his lips. You hear a long, loud slurp as he sucks the steaming fluid down.
Don't know the man myself, but I'm going to understand that he's good. Uses a light touch.
Not he. Them. 2 of your people went to work on my head last night. He pauses for a moment, considering, then shrugs.
Afraid you're wrong about that. There couldn't have been anyone else.
Your pal with the skin condition didn't mess up my nose. It was the other one. The second mage. I couldn't see his face. He shrugs.
Must be a figment of your imagination. It happens sometimes. The brain inverts details to try and make sense of what's happening to it. Give it a few days and the confusion should fade away. You'll see.
Somehow I don't find your argument very convincing.
We don't even have 2 mages on site, Caesar. There's no way that you got scanned twice.
He shrugs his broad shoulders.
But hey, believe what you want. Don't let it distract you, though. We've got work to do. Now let's get to it, shall we?
He shuffles his paper, flips open the notebook on the table with the tip of his pen.
Run me through what happened last night.
What's the point of the mind probe if you're going to interrogate me anyway?
Magic is great for pulling facts from a person's memory. It isn't so good at contextualizing them. What we got from you was a jumble of disorganized information. It'd take a lot of guesswork on our part to piece those facts together in a coherent narrative. You cooperate with us, tell us the story as you remember it, and you can spare us some of that work. That'll be good for you in the long term. If you lie to me, though, well, just don't. I'll know it. Now, if you please, tell me what happened last...
I'm going to quit doing that voice. It's hurting my throat. Just start from the beginning and take me through it until the moment we picked you up. Not until I find out what happened with the rest of my team. We've got them. They're fine. You can see them after you've told us what we want to know. If you want to go over what your people pulled from my head, I'll play along. That's the spirit. He turns the auto recorder on with an audible click. Now, we already know that your team went to Combat Pangs, the biker bar. That your boss, Kylie Cheng, sent you there to conduct a shakedown of some kind. The owner of the bar had something that didn't belong to him. Auntie Cheng sent us to get it back. Right, the artifact. He glances at the notebook on the table. Says here that it was a jade cog from the Leng Zhu period. Dated back 3000 BC or thereabouts. Sounds about right. And again, we wouldn't have been there if Peng hadn't stolen it. He nods. Now the smartest moves on Peng's part. There aren't a lot of fences who can move a thing like that. We've got it locked up for safekeeping, by the way. It's in good hands with us. Now, you said we earlier. That was you and... Gaichu, the ghoul. He jots down a note on his pad. Okay, who else? Duncan came along. The ex-cop. Nothing I hate more than a good guy gone bad. Another scribbled note. Alright, got it. Who was the last member of the team? Isabel. The dwarf, right. Quiet little thing. The pen dances over the pad a final time, then stops. Your interrogator glances up at you. Alright. So Cheng sent the group of you to combat Pangs to recover a very old rock, and she sent you on the eve of one of the bloodiest riots in Kowloon City's history. Funny timing, don't you think? Not at all. We used the riot for cover. With all the civil unrest in the streets, the cops were bound to be busy. Oh, I just chose my team to do the flashback. Awesome. So I'm having some headphones issues. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be back in a sec. There, much better. So it wasn't as big a deal. I just had something almost unplugged. The distant sounds of urban chaos rang in your ears as you led your team through a series of constrictive back alleys. It was hot out, sweltering, and the humidity left your body drenched. A bad night for a riot, but made for a good cover. You've been making good time since you left Haoi, and Comet Pangs was only a few blocks away. We're getting close. His voice was gruff, as always. Stay alert, people. I've heard stories about the Go gangs that Peng runs. The 888s, the Black Sun Boys, the Grinders, packs of animals in leather jackets, all of them. And they like to let their knives do the talking. Yeah, we get it. They're bad people. That's why Auntie Cheng sent us here in the first place. Isabel flipped an errant strand of hair back over her shoulder. We're bad people too, remember? Gaicho inclined his head. We cut down a Yama King, Duncan. Bikers will not be a problem. The cops are going to be out in force because of the riots. We only fire in self-defense. Are we clear on that? If that is your wish, then so be it. The ghoul let out a low growl. We should keep moving. The riots have provided excellent cover for our advance, and they will not last forever. The alleyway stretched out ahead of you, its claustrophobic confines seeming to converge together in the distance. Your team began to move. Let's do this! They're breaking into a house, but I don't care. I got stuff I gotta do. Look, a body. The bodies have been reduced to a bloody ruin. Their mouths were frozen open in expressions of silent terror. Your team gathered to examine the remains. These people were shot in the back. I don't see any weapons on them either. Somebody gunned them down while they were trying to run away. Tough break. They should have kept indoors. Yeah, it looks that way. Let's keep moving. Oh, jeez. Stay where you are! Are they Popo? Are they HKPF? I think they might be HKPF. The HKPF patrol stared you down, their weapons held at the ready. In the center of the pack, a man in heavy tactical armor loomed over the others. The plates of his armor were emblazoned with the regalia of Hong Kong's elite special duties unit. One of the cops cupped his hands to his mouth and barked out a command. You! Hey you! Stop moving and put your hands in the air! Tough words, but he sounded nervous. There are a couple gangsters trying to break into a store just around the corner. If you hurry, you can still catch them. The cop blinked confusedly, then half turned to the SDU officer at his side. Sir, should we investigate the SDU officer cut in. His speech was slow and languid. He sounded vaguely bored. Later, constable. We'll catch the looters when we're done here. But look at this man's clothes, his gear. These people are armed criminals and they're breaking curfew. You have orders. I promise you, you don't want to do this. The big man growled into his throat mic, his amplified voice reverberating through the claustrophobic confines of the alleyway. Open fire! Okay, buddy. You picked it, boyo. 76. Boom. Want to be able to run to cover. Hey. Oh, what's this? Double tap, 2 attacks and a single target with 1 action. That's awesome. Lame. That works. Lame. Alrighty. 1 AP, really? Alright. Alright, laser designator. This idiot. Ah, crap. I thought I hit the laser designator. That sucks. Oh well. There you go. Hey. Awesome. Yeah, this is meant for endgame characters. Wow, 70%. Lame. Boom. Oh, come on. He literally has 1 HP. I gotta just hit him once. Boom, he's dead. Let's reload this. Yep, that's what I thought. I need to get further back. I love my sniper rifle. There, that's at least something. Oh, 4 damage. Playing right into my hands. Oh. Without warning, the cracked, bloodied comlink that you pull off the body of the SDU officer crackled to life. A second later, a cold voice poured through the device's speaker. Constables, this is Crate. It's her. The cop on the newscast when the APB on us went live. She set up the ambush that killed Carter and fucked up our lives. I want all units to move into position and sound off. You will then hold action until I say otherwise. We will put this riot down and restore this city to order. This riot is responsible for This riot is a response to police brutality in Kowloon City, Caesar. Something tells me that Crate's plan to restore order isn't going to be gentle. We don't want to be out there when that call comes in. Let's keep moving. We'll try to keep the distractors to a minimum. Good call. Even if we could handle what Crate is planning, kindly isn't paying us to kill cops. I mean, it's your call, but Peng's right around the corner. I'd suggest we just beeline it there. Well, yeah, that was the plan. The block was harder hit by the riots than others you've been through. The air had been churned into a noxious slurry of soot, ash, and tear gas. It was stomach churning beyond foul. Through the haze, you could see a patrol squad of HKPF constables facing off against a man and woman in shabby winter coats. The man was doubled over, coughing, clutching a loaf of bread in one hand and a cheap pocket knife in the other. The woman was holding a small crowbar, frozen like a deer in headlights. Both were clear, looked terrified. A half dozen laser dots played over their bodies, projected from the sights of the constable's weapons. "Drop your weapons! Get on your knees! Do it now!" The knife hit the ground, clattering to a rest on the asphalt. "Please, our house burned down in the riots. We just need water and food. We aren't looters. We just need to eat." Isabel leaned in to whisper in her ear. "The cops can't see us through the smoke. They don't know we're here. If we give them a wide berth, we can slip past undetected. Those two, though, well, they'll be screwed. Personally, I prefer if we intervened. It's your call." I don't know what kind of resistance we're gonna encounter at the bar, though. The SCU sergeant's voice boomed out over the integrated speakers in his tactical armor. "On your knees! This is your last warning!" "Please, you're not listening. We had no choice." His voice trembled, and he held the loaf of bread out for the constables to see, the flimsy plastic that wraps it shimmers in the lamplight. "I've dropped the knife. We don't have any guns. This is just a loaf of bread." The SCU's Major Zamplai voice rolled out lazily out of his speakers. "He's got a weapon. Men, kill them both." Jeez. The constable's weapon sounded out with a deafening roar. "Let's try to find another way around these assholes, huh?" She nodded towards the fresh corpses of the locals that the patrol had just gunned down. "If we get too much closer, they'll probably fire on us, just like they did to those poor idiots. We'll look for another way around." There aren't a ton of items that you can just find and stuff. Night errant flash grenade. Well, you're good with the grenades, Duncan, so we're gonna hand it to you. Police calmly crackled to life again. "Great. All teams, ready your weapon and prepare for the weapons and prepare for my mark. Do not, I repeat, do not move before you are instructed to. Anyone who fails to obey this command will answer to me. Await my instructions. Crate out." "I'm going to the bar." A lanky man in a skin-tight vest leered at you as you entered the bar. He looked like a low-level go gangster, dressed in black some boys' colors. He stepped out in front of you to block your progress. "Bar's closed on orders of the boss." He pointed at the door you walked in. "Step on out of here now." Excuse me. You have no idea who you're talking to, do you? He shook his head, defiance in his eyes. "No, I don't, and I don't care. In here, you're nothing unless combat paying says different." His hand lowers to the knife at his belt. "Now, I'm gonna give you a choice. Get moving or start bleeding." "Gaicho, would you care to handle this?" Nodding his assent, Gaicho's hand slipped to the hilt of his katana. With a single whisper quiet motion, the blade came free from his sheath. The ganger's eyes went comically wide, and then the bravado he'd been displaying for a moment evaporated. He began backing away, his hands raised in surrender. Hey, I don't wanna... He looked over his shoulder towards the bar. Boss? A low voice growled out from beside the bar. Fuck me sideways, Jimmy. Have I gotta do everything myself around here? What do I even keep you around for? Eddie Combat Pang, the owner of Combat Pangs, and the ringleader of half a dozen Kowloon City Go gangs, the Black Sun Boys included. He leered at you through a mouthful of gold-capped teeth. Pang was a living stereotype, the surly dwarf in the flesh. Tens of tons of Napoleon complex in a 70-kilo body. Alright. You won't listen to my boy? Maybe you'll listen to me. We are closed. And if you want to keep all your fucking teeth, you'll turn around and go the way you came. We aren't customers, little man. We're here on business. He wrapped his fingers against the bar in an innocuous gesture, but it set alarm bells ringing in your head. All around you, gangers started shifting into ready positions, their smiles growing ugly, hands creeping towards holsters. From somewhere in the back of the room, you heard an ominous sound, heavy footsteps, and the scrape of something metal against the floorboards. Pang's glittering smile widened. Yeah, and, what kind of business are we talking about? Better tell those goons if you're to stand down, or we're gonna have a problem. Oh, is that so? You're standing in my home right now. See all these people around you? They're my friends, and they don't take kindly to strangers who come in here trying to throw their weight around. Look, man, if we don't bring that rock back to Chang, you're gonna have a war on your hands. Think you can take on the Yellow Lotus? If the old lady wanted a war, she would have sent soldiers, not a hired hand. He smiled at you, his gold-capped teeth glinting in the light. Can't help but notice that she didn't do that. More shifting from the assembled gangers in the bar. Some of them looked angry, ready to start shooting and cutting, but others were clearly concerned. Kindly Chang's name carried a lot of weight in Kowloon City, and everybody knew the Yellow Lotus. The shift wasn't difficult for you to see. Pang could see it too. Tell you what, I'm in a generous mood tonight, and I don't really need the rock for anything. It sounds like Chang's got you in a bind, and you're going to be in trouble with her if you don't bring it back tonight, so I'll sell it to you. Give me, say, 500 yen, and I'll have my boys back set up. $500 is chump change. Why let it go so cheap? I only took the damn thing because I thought it might be magical. Something that old, carved out of jade, with a golden inlay. Well, you hear stories. Anyway. Fuck if I could figure out how to make the damn thing work. As far as I'm concerned, it might as well be a paperweight. I could fence it, sure, but that'd raise questions. There aren't many of these things around, so I'm willing to let it go cheap. But I've got to charge you something. If I just gave it to you, what kind of precedent would that set? Too rich for my blood. Think I'll just take it from you instead. The bartender fumbled for something under the bar. A second later, there was a sword in his hands, and the entire room was reaching for their pieces. Pang roared out something unintelligible, and the bolts began flying. Oh, geez, that's a minigun up there. I don't know where to go. This is bad. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 boom 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 boom. Dang it! I have to pull this out. Then I pulled out my gun! 53. And if I pull this out, 43. 75. That's my best shot. Oh my god. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. 25 damage. I don't like that. I do not like this, okay? Yeah, take that. That's yours. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. Yeah, I was not joking when I said that this was... Wow. Alright, let's see if I can get... She does not have a dock wagon. He does not have a dock wagon. I do not have a dock wagon. Well then. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Oh god. Boom. Boom, boom. So I was stupid, so we're just gonna reset. Hey guys, I'm Alex. You know, the guy from the videos. So, I just wanted to thank you for watching the video all the way through. You know, it's a lot of work. I appreciate it. So, you know, thank you for your view, maybe your subscription. So you can subscribe right in the bottom corner there. Then you'll be updated. Make sure to ring that notification bell, because you know, subscriptions seem to mean nothing on YouTube anymore. But hey, so then over here you'll see a video that you might like, since you watched this video all the way through. Other than that, have a great day. I hope that you watch more. I'd love to see you again. We do stream, so keep an eye out for that. Announcements will be on the channel, my Twitter, all that stuff. All the information is on the overlay. Other than that, enjoy your stay on 6th Street.